From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, July the 9th, 2019. In what is said to be a first, the United States Treasury Department has placed 2 Hezbollah members of Lebanon's parliament on its blacklist today. The first time it has cited the Iran-backed terror group's elected officials. The Treasury wrote Amin Sheri and Mohammed Hassan Raad and Hezbollah security official Wafik Safa are designated for acting for or on behalf of Hezbollah under an executive order which targets terrorists and those providing support to terrorists or acts of terrorism. Treasury Undersecretary for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence Sigal Madalker said Hezbollah uses its operatives in Lebanon's parliament to manipulate institutions in support of the terrorist group's financial and security interests and to bolster Iran's malign activities. The U.S. State Department labeled Hezbollah as a foreign terror organization back in 1997. Meanwhile, the American Jewish Committee shared on Twitter that Argentina is reportedly planning to list Hezbollah as a terrorist group. The AJC tweeted, "We commend President Mauricio Macri for his leadership in confronting the Iran-backed anti-Semitic terror group that murdered 85 in an attack on the Buenos Aires Jewish Center, AMIA, 25 years ago." And by the way, commemorations marking the devastating attack that took place in Buenos Aires on July the 18th of 1994 are taking place this month in Argentina and around the world. Israel's Channel 12 reports that Israeli intelligence helped stop over 50 terror attacks planned by Iran and Islamic Jihad around the world over the past 3 years. The report said the Mossad and the IDF's military intelligence helped foil terror attacks in 20 countries, 12 of those attacks apparently in Turkey. More news of political mergers ahead of Israel's upcoming national elections in September. Jewish Home Party leader and now also Education Minister Rafi Peretz and National Union Party leader, now also Transportation Minister Bezalel Smotrich, signed an agreement today to run together as the union of right-wing parties, as they did in the previous election. They wrote, "In order to maximize our electoral potential and prevent the wasting of votes." Smotrich also called on Itamar Ben-Gvir of the Otzma Yehudit party, the party associated with the Kach movement, which was banned from the Knesset over its extremist views, to join their alliance as well, as Otzma did in the previous election at the request of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. But the party rejected the offer. Peretz and Smotrich also reportedly asked Naftali Bennett and Ayelet Shaked to come on board. Bennett, though, appears to be remaining with his new party, the New Right, which failed to meet the minimum threshold of votes in the last elections, failing to make it into the Knesset. Where Shaked will go is the subject of ongoing speculation. The IDF said today that the cross-border terror tunnel uncovered yesterday from Gaza infiltrating Israel was an old tunnel and not newly dug, and released video from the tunnel site. As we reported to you, the tunnel was found during construction for an underground security barrier being built around Gaza to prevent such terror threats. Back in 2014, the IDF began an operation aimed at uncovering such tunnels, finding and destroying reportedly 17 of them. This recently found one would be the 18th discovered since then. Well, a Florida high school principal who questioned whether the Holocaust actually occurred has lost his job. The Palm Beach County School District in Boca Raton said yesterday that it was aware of remarks made by Spanish River Community High School's William Latson last year, when Latson told the mother of a student who had emailed inquiring about Holocaust education at the school that not everyone believes the Holocaust happened. And in a follow-up email, he said, "I can't say the Holocaust is a factual historical event because I am not in the position to do so as a school district employee." Latson later apologized and was also sent to the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington to learn about the atrocities. The Palm Beach Post first reported on the story this past Friday, and yesterday the school district released a statement saying Latson's leadership has become a major distraction for the school community. It is therefore in the best interest of students and the larger school community to reassign Mr. Latson to a district position. The Anti-Defamation League's Florida branch had tweeted yesterday that the Holocaust is an irrefutable historical fact and that they would work to ensure this school's compliance with the Florida Holocaust education mandate. Veteran Israeli lawmaker Ora Namir has died. Namir, who was a member of the Labor Party, served as Minister of the Environment and Minister of Labor and Social Welfare, serving in the Knesset from 1974 to 1996. She's mostly remembered for her social activism and efforts to improve Israel's education system. Namir died Sunday at the age of 88. Former editor-in-chief of The Forward, Jayne Eisner, has a new position. The veteran editor has been named Director of Academic Affairs at the Columbia Journalism School. Eisner led The Forward for over a decade until the paper announced major cuts back in January. Eisner will now oversee the Ivy League school's Graduate School's Master of Arts program. Eisner wrote on her Facebook page, "I'm working with superb faculty and terrific students to help shape the future of journalism." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, July the 9th at 7 o'clock, more from the American Jewish Committee's Global Forum, with Democrats and Republicans discussing whether Jews have a political home. At 9, Mark Golub sits down for part 2 of a discussion on a new state solution with the founders of the movement. At 10, Professor of Politics Ehud Manor discusses his biography of former Israeli Foreign Affairs Minister Yigal Allon and his vision for a two-state solution. And coming up right after this newscast at 6:30, ILTV presents a weekly discussion of issues relating to the Israeli elections coming up in September. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, July the 9th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader.